Hello, hello. It's Rich Oseguera, your transformation catalyst. And it has been a hot minute since I have done one of my own broadcasts here on Facebook. We're also streaming to YouTube and to the Rich Awakenings website right now. And the reason for this occasion is my dear friend and mentor and business colleague and patron saint of all kinds of things, Julian Noel, the inimitable Julian Noel, is joining me from New Zealand right now, where it's tomorrow. It's Thursday, and we're going to talk about books and what books bring to our lives as people who are expanding and growing and pursuing greatness, and what it looks like to shine in this crazy world that we're living in right now. So without further ado, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to bring to you Mr. Julian Noel.
Whoa, there he is, Mr. Julian Noel, the inimitable. I'm going to get that put on my business card. Yeah, Julian Noel, inimitable. Yeah.
I thought you would like that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Great to see you, Rich. Good to see you. And well done for all the good work you're doing out there. I love watching what you're doing. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just, following in your footsteps too.
Well, I think we're kind of matching one another, getting out there, getting visible, having the guts to kind of spread our message and, inspire people to go on and do great things and supporting them, to get shit done,
That's what we do. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what brought this conversation to pass is the excitement I have for one of the many projects you're working on, but the new Shine book club and bookstore online. And that just, I'm a book lover, but I'm one of those people who buys the books and probably doesn't finish the books. So I have so many books, but I'm addicted to books, and that caught my attention. So tell me, well, first, for people who don't know, who you are and really like the big picture of what you do, including where you are in the world, tell us a little bit about that first.
Okay. First of all, I'm fucking amazing. And you really should get to know me. So my name's Julie. I'm Julian Noel. I currently live in New Zealand. I'm originally from New Zealand, and I started an organization called Shine, and it's a global gathering of entrepreneurs and change makers. So people who are here who know they have a deep purpose around shifting and changing the world through business. So I work with entrepreneurs in a variety of ways. I help them shape their ideas. I help them transition from where they are to where they really, really want to be. I help people start up businesses. I help people change gears. There's Kate Gaffin. Hi, Kate.
Great. She's the reason we know each other. She introduced us.
Right. Yeah.
She's in Bali.
I know. Well, I think there's only one place better than Bali.
New Zealand. I would concur.
So basically, that's what I do. And what I'm really fascinated about is this incredible period of change that the whole globe is going through. And, it's rattling our cages, our cognitive cages, our emotional cages. Our sense of the future is threatened. Our sense of our health and well-being is threatened. And I also think it's an incredibly enlivening time for us to dive deeper and inquire at a deeper level, what is it to be human? And how is the new human to emerge from this seeming confusion, from this creative chaos? And that's why I think books are important. So the Shine bookstore We'll pop the link somewhere so you can all go and have a look at it. Really came out of a collaboration with one of the Shine members who runs an online bookstore. And I said, look, I want to create a bookstore just for entrepreneurs and change makers. So it's really targeted. So we have just launched the world's only curated online bookstore for entrepreneurs and change makers. You know, we want to bring you the latest ideas, the greatest ideas, the people who are right at the forefront of change. How are they traversing these times? What are the key pointers? How, you know, where do we need to put our focus in order to bloom and blossom at this time, not kind of deteriorate and sink out of view? So in a nutshell, that's the whole idea.
Oh, no big whoop.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes, that's why I love you, because you are a disruptor. You're an innovator. You're a visionary person, and all of those aspects of you are so important right now. For, like you said, I feel exactly like you do. That we are, yes, there's craziness, seeming craziness, and we have the opportunity to be at the effect of it, blame it, be under the cloud of it, or to see this as an opportunity for transformation, not only for ourselves but for our planet, and you know, for what's possible for us to live up and into. And that's what you're doing.
I think what you've done is what you've just said there is really important. Live up. Because I think what's happened is we've all been living, all of us, me included, in an identity or ego-based world around, you know, money and work and technology and relationships and everything. So we've had our ego absolutely, you know, we've been like hogs in the trough. And it's all about satisfying the ego. And now there's an opportunity for us to rise higher to a more soul level and a heart-based level, and most importantly, a creative level. We can create a future. But if we continue to look at the morass that we're in and hope that the world's going to come back to how it was, you're dead in the water. You're dead. You're as good as dead. We have to take this time to really rise up into our higher level of intelligence and go, cool, this is what my identity is doing. I'm freaking out. I'm agreeing with every dumb conspiracy theory that's running around. It's the government's fault. It's the bank's fault. It's no one's fault. It's no one's fault. What are you going to create? What can we create? And where's your community of support to help you bring your vision and your dreams into reality? And that's what Shine's really all about.
Yes, that is. I mean, we know the value of being in communities of like-minded people. Not that they think exactly like us, but they're reaching up towards the highest version of themselves, right? And I think that is such an important piece right now for people to get, especially business people, entrepreneurs, aspiring change makers, that we can't do this alone, and we're not meant to do it alone, and that there are communities like Shine that are there for us to tap into, to be able to leverage the resources in a global community like Shine to help us get where we're trying to get, and who have been there perhaps before us. And it's so important. It's the days of being a one man or one woman show. Like, I think that's very much over, and it's exhausting. And we'll be able to get there faster. With that kind of support.
And I think, you know, collaboration is absolutely the new currency. Like the Shine Online Bookstore is a collaboration. You know, you mentioned a book club. So step 2 of the launch is, first of all, here's a place where you can get all the latest cutting edge thinking and some of the classics as well around business development, mindset, humanity, spirituality. And we also have a women's section as well. I think that's really, really important at the moment. And I think some of the levers for change are definitely thinking outside of the dots. You've got to, and the bookstore is a representation of the people who are thinking outside of the dots. So that's first and foremost, because I think what we all need at the moment is a deep sense of affirmation. In this time of uncertainty, if you get a great idea, it's a lot of guts and courage to back your great idea if it hasn't existed in the world before. And that's why I think community is important, but to also hear good ideas don't happen in isolation. You'll read something and go, oh, wow, I had that idea too. And that just helps to strengthen your resolve and back yourself in. So that's one. And then I think the other thing, collaboration, joining together. So we've collaborated with Angela Mipham, who's a fellow Kiwi who's now based in Canada, and she runs book clubs. So she's a great lover of books. She's the curator of the website, so she chooses the books. And then Andre Rao, he's like our marketing guru. And then we have Lee Wood, who runs Phoenix Distribution, which is another really cool bookstore to go and have. It's a much broader range, but he's the one who's supplying all of the books and all of the back end. So you don't have to go it alone. If we were to start a bookstore, we wouldn't know where to start. But we've partnered with people who have the resources and who back the vision. So there's some pretty important tips on how do you collaborate, do stuff with people who share your vision and have resources that you don't.
the latter being key.
It is a critical piece in collaboration. Absolutely. Yeah. You see, like you were saying, we're moving from the lone wolf idea of I've got to do it on my own to when you really own your vision and your mission. And, normally when we go into that, we go, okay, where I really want to get to is here. Where I am is here. There's a big gap. How do I close the gap? Right. Collaboration, working with people of like mind who have the resources that you need and that you add value to them. That's really important.
Yes, it goes both ways, and that you're making me think of my morning affirmations mantra, whatever. So every morning in the shower, it's just become a habit now. I say something to the effect of, I got to close my eyes. I am a world-class leader. I am a visionary change maker. I am a philanthropist, and I make money in my business every single day. And I surround myself by fellow visionary change makers who support me in building my business, and I support them and give to them. And my clients are rising visionary change makers, and they happily pay me for the services that I offer, and they are so excited to share their message in the world, like something like that. And now if I start to get out of the shower before I say it, I have to get back in and turn the water back on. But the it's all about, it's all two ways. It's not just me, I'm so, give me the money, I want the clients. It's like, I want to serve. I want to let people help me who know more than I do, or who have those resources that I don't have. And that's a big shift, because I didn't think like that when we first met. That wasn't where my brain was yet. But, we had a lot of time on our hands this last year. And some shifts occurred in me that I wasn't aware of until a few months ago.
Yeah, no, very true, very true. And I love those affirmations. They're really powerful. And I have a visual of you under the shower saying it too, I've got to say. So, and I'm sure there's many others too are kind of going, oh God, is that a good thing? I'm not so sure.
Well, I imagine I'm under a waterfall.
Right.
In New Zealand, perhaps.
Yeah, we got some good waterfalls here, man. We
Yes,
got
you
some
do.
good waterfalls here. Yeah. And I also think books are really, really important because they're crystallized ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things, as I said, phase 2 is around the book club, is to call together discussion groups, and it's really around action groups, and it's only going to be around $20 a month to be a member of the book club, and you'll be able to get together with other change makers and discuss, and then go into action, because having a great idea is just like one of 10 really important steps. The critical one, there are two other critical pieces. One is have a great idea. Two is to really listen for the inspired actions that you're called to do, and inspired action rather than coming from your ego of, oh, how am I going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
That is not the right question to ask. How? Do not ask how. How is the dumbest fucking thing you can ask. I promise you, if you want to create extraordinary results, don't ask how am I going to do it. It's dumb. And then the third thing is an inspired action. And then the third thing is go into action, do the action.
Yeah.
They're three really fundamental things. So we're looking to pull together the book club, and we want to have entrepreneurs and game changers from all around the world, like in these small kind of circles. We'll be interviewing authors, talking to authors, we'll be discussing the books, and then we'll be working with you on how to go into action to make a difference through the use of these books.
Yeah, I love that. That's so key. Why do you think, just to go back to the dumb question, the one that breaks the rule of there are no dumb questions, how? Right? Why do so many people, smart people, get caught up in that piece? Why?
Well, what happens when we ask how is it takes us into our head. It takes us into our brain, and it immediately, the brain's our willing servant, and when you say how, it goes into your beliefs. And one of the first things we'll say is a belief will kick in. Oh, I don't think I can do it. If you have a vision to make, to build a company, to start a movement, to change a really important aspect in your life, and your soul sings at the mere thought of it, right? And then you ask yourself, oh, how will I do that? I'm telling you, that's about the quickest way to go into reverse. Yeah. Because you're thrown into, oh, I've never done that before. Oh, what a dumb idea. I better not tell anybody. Oh, geez, I'm going to need $1 million. I don't have access to that. And because our beliefs kick in and our past kicks in, I think a better question is, what's the next most obvious step? What's the next most obvious step? Because that utilizes your brain in a whole other way, that question.
Yeah, and your intuition.
Exactly. Because the intuition is all about being present,
Right.
And while I'm talking about it, we're putting together with an absolute world leader in intuition and intuitive entrepreneurship. We're putting together a course right now, but that's just between you and I, Rich. Okay, don't tell anybody else. Yeah. And that's like really exciting. It's if there's a gift that I would love to give the world, it would be this series that we're designing right now. Because to me, it is absolutely not so much the panacea of these times, but definitely the ointment for these times. It's, we're all being fertilized right now. All of our old junk ideas, we're living in them. We're in the soup of our pain and our fears as we transition, which is part of transformation.
Yes.
But in order to allow us to grow, to me, it's the intuition, innocence and intuition. It's the way forward. Yeah.
Innocence.
Because out of innocence, you can create what your heart truly desires. Go into innocence, the state of innocence.
You're making me think of a practice that I love. It's called, or there's a man named Richard Rudd, who has a whole system, philosophy, I guess, called the Gene Keys. And he came out of the world of human design. He was one of their.
Yeah.
And then he, transformed those teachings into something different, but based on. And he talks about that. One of the Gene Keys is called innocence, and he has a whole talk on this. And so that I really resonate with what you're saying, like being in that space of purity where there isn't a sense of something's wrong or even right.
Yes.
We just are.
Yeah.
And that's creativity.
Yeah.
Comes from.
It reminds me of, one of my favorite quotes by Rumi, beyond right and wrong and good and bad, there is a field. Yes. I will meet you there and we will lay down together. And it's the place of pure creativity, pure possibility.
Yeah.
Most of us live, and myself included, dominated by our identity and ego and our thoughts and feelings from the past. And how do we access the field? Through innocence. And then it's learning how to alchemize and how to create from that place of pure potentiality. You make me sound so intelligent. I'm listening to myself and going, oh gosh, geez, Rich, what's going on here? It's like all these words are rushing out of my mouth. And I'm going,
I'm a transformation catalyst. That's why.
That's it. Yeah.
It happens. So since we're talking about books, I wanted to tell you the coolest thing that just happened to me that involves a book. And also thanks to the world of Facebook. I made a post about there's a Broadway musical called In the Heights, and Lynn Manuel Miranda actually that was what put him on the map before Hamilton. And I got to see this musical in New York City a couple of times while I still lived there. And it's coming out, the movie version's coming out. So I got very excited and posted about that. And a friend of mine saw it. And then it made him remember a book that he has that was written by Lynn Manuel Miranda. And I didn't know he had written a book. And he told me about this book, and I was very jealous. And then a package arrived the other day, and we had no. It was addressed to both me and Cody, and I didn't know what it was. And once Cody opened it and he saw what it was, he handed it back to me so I could be surprised. And it's Lynn Manuel's book.
Oh wow!
Called Good Morning, Good Night. Little pep talks for you. And it's really brilliant. It's literally based on tweets. And every morning and every night, apparently Lynn Manuel sends a message to his followers, like a little pep talk. And I'll just read what I opened.
Yeah.
So the morning one, good morning, face the day. If the day looms too large, kick it in the shins so it has to face you. Hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the good night for that same day apparently is good night, way to face the day. Now climb into bed with the night and draw the shades. So it's just these little bits.
I like that. That's nice.
And I just think it's so cute. So this book made me so happy. And that's the beauty of books, right?
Yeah.
So what are you reading? What's right now, like, what's the thing that one ought to read?
Well, our one of our books of the month is Atomic Habits. And what it's about is what's the small, tiniest little change you can make? What's the smallest thing you can do that can have the biggest kind of impact and result?
James Clear.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm all about the man. Do you get his newsletter?
No.
Okay, so let me tell you a secret.
Yeah.
So it's one of the only newsletters that I look forward to reading.
Okay.
That says a lot, right?
Yeah.
So when his comes, in fact, it came. I have it sitting in my queue here. I get excited, and it's very clear. It's very based on his style of being clear and concise and succinct, and he'll give 3 tips and he asks a question. It's just to get your brain thinking, right? However, if you share his newsletter, and I think if 5 people sign up for the newsletter from your sharing, there's a secret newsletter that comes out on Saturdays, and only the people who've earned it get that newsletter. And so I earned it. It's like my little secret delight. But James Clear is amazing. His work has, it's in my head about creating habits and taking those small steps, but doing it consistently is how we get there. I didn't finish the book, though, so you'll have to tell me.
and I think, as a coach and as a mentor, it is the actions that people take that really decide how much of the vision is created. And it's the most fearful part of the process. Thanks, Cody. You're brilliant, Julian. Thank you. Appreciate that. But that's where people just shit their pants when they'll intuit it. But then it's always the identity that pulls us back from taking action, So that's why you've got to find the deeper purpose that draws you forward no matter what. How do you become unwavering? And to me, that's all about soul connection. When we are deeply connected to our vision and our mission from the inside, that is when, I'll have days when I slack off, but I'll always come back to the task because it's the basic commitment is to serve and to do what I feel is in my heart to do. And it's action is king, man. Inspired action is king.
Yes. Yeah. I'm in a 30-day challenge right now with a person that I follow, and it just started. Yesterday was day 1. And so the first assignment was about along the lines of what you're talking about. He used different language. He calls it your ambition. What's your ambition? That's the name of his company, Ambitious. So he's, the branding. But what's your ambition? Meaning, what's your why, basically. And so I had to really think about that because so many things have changed for me over the last year. And so what I boiled it down to as the first draft is, between now and this day, I literally just made a video for that group before we came live here. So it's fresh. So by March 24th or 25th in New Zealand, 2022, I will have helped 100 clients who've worked with me personally to unmute their voices, to step into their power and to get their message out into the world. And those 100 people are inspired to help 100 people themselves. Wow. But my 100 is the number that I'm focused on. And so with having that as a clear goal, then I can see how everything I do serves that or not. And if it doesn't, if it's not going to bring me closer to helping people. And you know what the cool thing is about this is, especially even, when you first met me, for sure, it would have been about money. It would have been, I need 100 people at X number of dollars in order to, and that isn't even in the equation. Of course, if you're in business, it's to make money, right? It needs to be, a commercial enterprise, as you say. But it isn't the driving factor. It's like, of course that's going to happen. It isn't like the why. It's I like you, seeing people get it, that they're so powerful. They're so fucking powerful that even if they make a mistake, it's okay. They just get up and keep going because their mission is more important than how their hair looks or the pimple on their nose or, their inability to be elegant on camera, right? Like that's not as important as what they're here to do. And that's what I became so connected to in this last year, and especially the last couple of months. So, and you're responsible for that too, because you've been planting those seeds in me for a long time.
Yeah, it's cool to watch your journey, you know, and just watching you continue to evolve as we all do, you know. It's great to sort of have, you know, friends out there who are doing cool stuff, because what you do like inspires me, you know. There's some days when you're not feeling like, yes, this isn't my best day, and then you see a Richo Segura conversation, or you see a post and you go, yeah, that's right, and then bang, you know, you're back on your own horse. So really appreciate what you do. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a love fest.
It is. It is. It is. It is. It's absolutely, and so it should be. You know, we should be loving each other into action and loving each other towards our, higher and greater outcomes. We should be loving one another into a better world. You know, supporting one another's visions and beauty and, you know, inspirations. You know, that's kind of, yeah.
I mean, that goes back to what you were saying about community and, you know, being in communities of support. So could you tell people more about the Shine community and how they could find that?
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, there's the Shine Global website, www.shineglobal.com.au. And Shine really is very much about, we've had a change in direction. We were all about offering courses, but now we're very much about collaborative partnerships and bringing value to people that way. So, like I said, the bookstore, we're just about we're in the final negotiations with an incredible company out of India, Ayurvedic company, and being responsible for their global marketing. So health, wellness, spirituality, and businesses that are looking to grow from a global perspective. That's really our focus now. Our aim is to create, over this next couple of years, is to create 15 multi-million-dollar global businesses. That's really where our focus is. And then part of that, one of the projects we're working on, is to bring this education that I told you about, the innocence and intuition, because that's our standard stock in trade. Shine, how we approach everything is through innocence and intuition, and we want to share all of these principles, because we could just feel we can create like massive shift within individuals, and then empowering them to really create what's in your heart of hearts, you know.
Yeah.
So that's really what Shine's about, is collaborating with great people to make great stuff happen.
I love it. So those of you watching live, and thank you for those of you who popped on live, and I know many of you will see this as a recording. As Julian said at the beginning of this, he's a badass, and you really need to get to know him, because there's a lot of consequences for doing that, and they're all good.
Well, I like to think so. I don't think everyone would agree. I think I've pissed off a few people out there, unfortunately. My bad. Yeah. I'm learning too. I was on the learning curve, you know. Yeah. It was like one of the America's Cup that New Zealand just won last week. The losing skipper said, if you're not winning, you're learning. And I thought that was a beautiful phrase. It's not winning or losing, it's winning and learning. And I just thought, I'll take that. And so we're all learning, you know. I fuck stuff up, you know, tragically sometimes. I get embarrassed and ashamed sometimes at the mistakes I make. But there you go, I'm human, you know. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
And you keep moving forward.
Yeah, always.
That's the thing. So the shinebookstore.com, folks, go check that out. There's all kinds of amazing books on there. And the book club information is on the website as well.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea yet of when that kicks in?
Look, that is such a big surprise that not even we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're hilarious. is.
Yeah.
Imminently.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, inimitably, it'll happen at the right time. But yeah, but jump on and register for it, and register your interest. And yeah, we want to get it going as soon as we can. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Okay, and I did see that. So there's a registration form to be in the loop. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Well.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you so much for carving out some time. And I'm soon, very, very soon, imminently, I'm launching a new show called Unmute Yourself. And it's going to be very much like the things we just talked about. So I will have you on for that.
Love it.
The focus there is really about helping people to get off the fence, the fence of fear or whatever's keeping them from using their voice in the world and putting their message out into the world. So you're the expert at that. So I definitely want to have you on to talk about more about your story and how you became so powerful in that work. Because I know people need to hear that from you. So, okay. Well, folks, thanks for watching. Julian, thank you for being here. And stay tuned, folks, for announcements on, in fact, this was the first time I've said it out loud publicly that this new show is coming. So now people know it's not a secret anymore. And remember, be courageous, be conscious, be connected. That means get into some community, like the Shine community or the Rich Awakenings community. And here's to your rich awakenings.